Welcome everybody to another episode of the Let's Play series. We are here in Japan in Sendai for GoFest, and that is the topic of today's Let's Play episode. I am super excited here to be here in Japan, super honored as well. Honestly, all thanks to you guys that I'm able to do trips like this, but it is GoFest day. Actually, GoFest starts in 15 minutes. It is the Saturday, the third day of GoFest. And today we're going to be talking about GoFest. Look, first of all, look how insane this looks. Can we just address this? Like, something about Japan, and we're going to get into why this is, that it's just such an insane spot. But like, look at all the Pokestops. Look at the density of spawns and all that stuff. Like, this is literally Pokemon Go heaven. The best place to play Pokemon Go, in my opinion. Anyway, today on the topic of discussion is IRL GoFests. Are they worth it? You know, I paid a lot of money to get out here, and we're going to get into that. I'm going to break down the costs that I've spent so I can show you guys kind of what to expect to get there. And obviously, it's going to change per location where you're coming from. You know, if you're coming from a further place, it's going to be more expensive and self-explanatory. But we're going to be talking about all of that today, and if I actually think IRL GoFests are worth it. You know, is it actually worth it to potentially plan a trip out to Japan next year, or to, I don't know, wherever you want to go, to wherever the next GoFest ends up being. There'll probably be one in Japan anyway, so. And my experience, you know, I've been here, what day is it? It's the first, I got here on the 27th. So I think it's been like, this is day 4 of being in Japan. Obviously, that's not a lot of days to really kind of tell, but like, is GoFest, let's hop in this Kartana raid actually. Is it actually gonna be worth, you know, your money? And is the experience worth it? That's pretty much what is on the topic. Obviously, I'm also gonna talk about a bit about what's been going on, all that stuff. As always, this is the Pokédaxi Let's Play series. You can listen to this episode on Spotify or Apple Podcast if you prefer it in podcast form. And yeah, we pretty much just yap for an hour. And again, today we are in Japan. By the way, this is part of a 4-part series, the Travel Let's Play series, I'm going to be calling it. We're going to be doing one of these here. We're going to be doing one of these in Tokyo, where we're going to be experiencing Pokemon Go in Tokyo, which is arguably one of the best cities in the world for Pokemon Go. So stay tuned for that episode dropping next week when I'm in Tokyo. Also, we're going to be doing one in Madrid with Pokemon and Casual Coops. We'll be back. I don't know if they'll be on the Let's Play series or not, but we're going to be in Madrid for GoFest. Obviously, Let's Play series there, and then obviously, finally, in New York, which hopefully I see some of you guys in New York for GoFest. So yeah, this is the GoFest season, the GoFest series of the Let's Play, and I'm super excited. Anyway, we're here at Sendai Station. I don't know if you can, let me zoom in on that actually. Sendai Station, there it is, which is pretty much the train station here in Sendai. Which is actually a pretty good spot to play Pokemon Go in all honesty, but I'm gonna go ahead and find a spot to sit down. We have 13 minutes until GoFest actually officially starts. Again, the raids for GoFest have been going down throughout the weekend. So like before GoFest actually starts, because it starts at 9:30, ends at 6:30 if you have the ticket. There's raids, so there's, you know, Xurkitree raids, there's Necrozma raids, all that stuff. There's Kartana raids, which we're gonna get a Shundo right now. No, 2101, no. So yeah, there's like really, it's non-stop Pokemon Go when you go to a GoFest, that's for sure, and there's literally always something to do. Like, I could have woken up at 6 a.m. and done raids for 3 hours before GoFest even started. Oh, I caught that on the first ball. Anyway, let me go find a spot to sit down. I'm going to try my best to find a spot because this place is absolutely busy. There are so many Pokemon Go players. This event actually sold out in like, I think it was like 5 hours. Some of the days, like Saturday and Sunday, sold out in like 5 hours. So there's going to be thousands of Pokemon Go players here today, which is cool. Honestly, it's actually kind of cool that we have that many players out here, and you can like literally see all the people like walking behind me. I would bet that, you know, maybe 70% of these people are here to play Pokemon Go. Anyway, let me go find a spot to sit, and then we will continue to discuss Pokemon Go Fest IRL. Cool. Let me actually show off where we're at right now. This is the Sendai Station, and it's kind of cool because the roads are down here, but then there's like this whole walkway you can walk on kind of above for pedestrians, which is a pretty cool little design they've done to this city. Oh, sorry, sir. Actually, before we forget, with all the yapping we're going to do in this episode, to be honest, let's do a little fit check here. So today we got, I don't know if you can see that, we got the runners on. These are Brooks. Got to wear good shoes for GoFest. These are like my bread and butter. Not sponsored, not sponsored. We got the Lulu shirt. We got the Lulu pants, the Lulu shorts. It's actually pretty hot out here today. It's, what's the weather? 19 degrees. Actually not too bad, but the sun definitely makes it a little hot. Hopefully it doesn't rain today. There's literally a menacing cloud right there. It rained yesterday, but luckily it's not too bad when it rains out here because there is a nice underpass where you can go ahead and walk through. And then we got the Kodo Paxi bag on, which is my new go-to travel pack. Hello. My new go-to travel pack, which is great because I love it how the sleeves go in. Again, not sponsored, I'm just letting you guys know this is the fit. No green today. Shout out to all my green fans. You guys know I love green, but that's not what we're wearing today. Yeah, cool. That's the fit. Let's go find a spot to sit because there's like thousands of people here and I need to find a spot where I, am not being obnoxious because I feel like I'm obnoxious when I talk sometimes. Okay, well, anyway, let's get into this. Honestly, it actually took me a while to find a spot because I don't really want to bother people. I don't really want to kind of get in their way, but I think it's kind of unavoidable. If people walk by the camera, it's fine. But here in Japan, man, they are so nice. They're like nicer than Canadians, might I say. They're so respectful and like, thank you, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like honestly, shout out Japan. Everybody here is so nice. Anyway, let's talk about IRL Go Fest. Let's first break down what it takes to come to one of these. Now, again, like I mentioned before, obviously, depending on, okay, I need to make sure I'm recording again. I literally do this every episode. If I'm not recording, I would like cry. Obviously, to get to one of these IRL Go Fests, it takes a lot of money. First of all, plane ticket. Now, I can't really fully describe how much my plane ticket costs because I am doing a trip where I go from Ottawa to Calgary to Japan, which we already did that part. That plane ticket I think was like $600-700 Canadian, which I think is like $500 US, I'm pretty sure, but it's a one-way, Then I'm doing Tokyo to Paris because if you don't know, my mom's French and I'm part French. So we're doing a little day in Paris so I can dump all the footage of all these videos I'm recording because I'm gonna have like thousands of hours of footage. By the way, has GoFest started? It has not. It's gonna start in a minute. And then from there, I'm doing to Madrid and back. So the Tokyo to Paris part of the trip, I think is going to be, I think the ticket was like about 1,000 Canadian or something like that, which is like 800 USD. My translations might not be exact. And then I think it was like 200 Canadian to go from Paris to Madrid and back, which again is like 200. I think it's like 150 Canadian maybe. Or it might be like 250. Anyway, around that ballpark, and then obviously back home, which I believe I got for 600 Canadian, which is like 400 USD. So all in, you're looking at, 500, maybe 800. In terms of plane tickets, 2,000 to 2,500 American dollars. And then on top of that, you have to add the housing. Now, I got my housing in Sendai for a week for like 700 Canadian. Again, I'm sorry for all you Americans. I think it's like 500 American. Housing in Madrid was a little more expensive, I believe. It was like 1,000 Canadian, which is like 800. And then, yeah, I guess those are the only two housings I really need because Paris is free for me. And obviously, maybe some of you guys might have family in some places in Europe and different stuff like that, so you can plan your trips accordingly. But I would argue food all in, stuff like that, 400 Canadian, or 4,000, sorry, I was like 400. 4,000 Canadian dollars. Now that's a month. That's a month gone. I'm going to be out of Ottawa for a month. But that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for a video game, right? For a video game. But what I think it is, it's all about the perspective on how you look at it, right? Now, people have spent $4,000 on a vacation before, right? You spent $4,000 on a vacation. Well, okay, no, I'm not saying you have, but people have spent a lot of money on vacations. It's not like people don't go on vacation and don't say, hey, I'm going to spend a lot of money to have a good time. And I think that's the perspective you kind of need when you're looking at IRL Pokemon Go events. Instead of being like, oh, I'm not going to spend $1 bajillion to go play Pokemon Go in another city, you should be like, oh, I'm going to spend $1 bajillion to go on a vacation to another city. Because that's pretty much what this is. It is literally a video game. You're going to a city to not only explore it and spend extra days doing touristy stuff that you might want to do or visiting family, but then you also have Go Fests as a means to travel there and experience an event. And also at the same time, when you're playing Pokemon Go, I'm exploring. Like literally these last 5 days, I've been walking around Sendai, like obviously looking at my phone, catching shinies, but it's not like I don't look up at any point and be like, oh, that's cool, oh, that person's nice, and experience touristy stuff. And then there's also nighttime, like at the end of the day, it's not like I just fall asleep like an NPC. Like I literally go ahead and go out to dinner, go with friends. Like me, Fleece King, and Mystic went to dinner to this cool sushi place last night, all that stuff. So like, I don't know, at the end of the day, I think that's the perspective you kind of need, but I know I still understand, very expensive. I'm very honored to be in the position because obviously it's always going to be different for me because this is like a job and like I'm not just putting up disposable income to go on a trip like this. But I don't know, I hope that gives you guys a little perspective. I would say 400 Canadian dollars to go ahead and go on a trip like this, or 4,000. But you can definitely get it for cheaper. You know, if there's a Go Fest in New York City, which honestly, granted, New York is an expensive city, and you know, you live somewhere in America, you could probably do a New York trip for 2,000. You know, like a week in New York for 2,000. I don't. Maybe I'm being delusional, but like you find a cheap Airbnb. Again, one tip I always give when traveling is like, you don't need the Hilton Necrozma check. I don't even remember doing this Necrozma raid. You don't need like the Hilton to stay in. And I always say this, when I choose a hotel, I always choose the cheapest that I can live in. I don't want to dump that where I'm gonna get like infected or something. But at the end of the day, you're not going to another city to sleep in a hotel room. You know what I mean? Like that's not why you're going there. Unless that's like the point of the trip and it's just like a relaxing trip where you don't really want to go visit the city. You're just kind of going to get out of your brain, I guess, and relax. But you don't need the nicest place ever. So always consider that. I always try to find the cheapest spot you can, because at the end of the day, all you're really gonna be doing in your hotel room is sleeping, playing Pokemon Go, and then sleeping, or you know, visiting sites and then sleeping. So there's no point to spend all your budget. It's better to spend your budget on food, experiencing different activities in the area, all that stuff. But anyway, 4,000 bucks, okay? So that's how much it costs for me to do that's two Go Fests, okay? We're talking about two Go Fests here. We're not talking about one. Let's say we say every Go Fest, 2,000 USD to go experience a Go Fest, an in-person IRL Go Fest. And like I always say, it's gonna depend as well. Like you also have to consider, you know, if Go Fest is in LA and you live in LA, bro, that's free for you, you know what I mean? That's like a no-brainer. But this is more about, is it worth it to really like travel to a completely different city for an IRL Go Fest? By the way, Go Fest has started now. It is 9:34. Can we get a shiny Emolga? Ooh. I saw Mystic got a shundo of these yesterday, by the way. That was absolutely insane. We were just walking, he was hatching eggs, and I just see him drop to the floor, and he's like, oh my god, shundo Emolga. Bro, YouTuber luck is real, except not for me, because apparently I'm not a YouTuber and I don't get YouTuber luck. I shouldn't say that. I've gotten some pretty crazy stuff this weekend, if you've seen the vlogs. By the way, watch the vlogs, watch the videos of GoFest. It's kind of insane how lucky we've been. I got 66 shinies, actually, on one of the days. Like, literally the most shinies I've ever gotten. Anyway, that is my opinion on it, right? At the end of the day, it's gonna be expensive, 2,000 bucks. But now the question is it actually worth it? What are the perks of playing an in-person Go Fest? Why would you want to go to Sendai? Why would you want to come here, you know, out of all the places in the world? Because that is one thing about Go Fest is like, I'm not saying they choose cities that people wouldn't want to travel to, but it's like, you know, there's limits to the cities they can choose because the cities need to be able to host a Go Fest. And I'm not gonna lie, if Pokemon Go wasn't a thing, I wasn't this creator, I would probably never be in this city, ever. Like, I don't think my life would lead me to being in Sendai at some point, walking around. Like, this is probably the last city I would visit in Japan. You know, there's so many other cities, like I wanna go to Osaka, Tokyo, which I'm going to, obviously, but like, there's other cities I'd want to travel to. So it's very interesting how Pokemon Go kind of chooses their locations and how it gets you to places I guess you would never really expect to go to, I guess. Anyway, let's go find a new spot because I want to talk about the next thing on this video, which is it actually worth it? You know, we know it's expensive now. We know how much it costs me in terms of cost breakdown. And there's also probably hidden costs in there as well, like travel insurance, I don't know, what other hidden costs? There's always hidden costs. That's why they're hidden, because I don't know them. Because I just, you know, they just get charged to my credit card. I get like food, again, food can get pretty expensive. Activities, if you decide to, you know, spend money on a, I don't know, boat tour or blah, 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 horse tour. I don't think they do those around here, but anyway, plenty of different activities you can do when you're traveling. And it can all add up. It can all add up. I think it's important actually to really have a budget, especially when you're going to these in-person Go Fests, like try to budget out how much you're gonna wanna spend. Honestly, that's just like a good tip for life. Like having a budget is great because it's always important to know where your money's going. And I'm sure some of you guys know, I've experienced myself when I look at my statement at the end of the month and I'm like, bro, I just spent so much money, like where did it all go? And then I look at the statement and I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. But I don't know, having a budget so you can stay on top of it is good. Can we get a shiny, please? I'm kidding. The shiny odds, by the way, for these in-person Go Fests, important to mention, probably about 1 in 64, it seems. And again, the global Go Fests are gonna have more of a, I think it's like 1 in 128 or 1 in 250 shiny rate. So that is a huge perk, but I don't wanna get into the perks too much because I wanna go to a new spot. So let me find a new spot where I can continue yapping. Yeah, anyway, dance moves, let's go. where there's like kind of like an overpass. It's kind of covered. So when it is raining, you can play Pokemon Go. Anyway, the spawns here are pretty crazy. As you can see, insane. And this is kind of what you can expect from Japan. Japan specifically, like if you go to an in-person Go Fest, like from my last 4 days here, I've never experienced such a density of spawns. Maybe New York is kind of considerably the same, but I think in terms of Pokestops and spawns, Japan just has everywhere in the world beat, which just makes it absolutely an insane spot to play Pokemon Go. Actually, there's a Farfetch'd here. This is a shiny I really want today, the shiny Farfetch, because it is a Japan exclusive, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's talk about perks of Go Fest, which, first of all, we don't even need to talk about it because, how's the brightness here? We're good. Look at this. This is the perks of Go Fest. The perks of Go Fest is being able to play Pokemon Go in a space like this, where there's just thousands of everything going on. Now, Go Fest obviously comes with a lot of perks. Obviously, first one, increased shiny rates. Number 2 generally is early access to new Pokemon, like Necrozma is a new Pokemon. You can get it for free right now if you remote raid into a, Madrid or New York Go Fest. But you can't get the shiny. You can't get Duskmane or Dawn Wings form of Necrozma, which are super cool looking actually. Let me see if I can find mine. You only get one of these per in-person Go Fest, and then at the global Go Fest, you'll be able to get more of them as you remote raid. But like, look at this thing. This thing is absolutely insane looking. Maybe not from behind, but from the front, it looks crazy. You get access to this, new early shinies, which include Necrozma, Xurkitree, Emolga, Shiny Unknown, Question Mark, the new shiny Eevees, the new shiny Pikachus, and just early access to a lot of things. On top of that, you get a bunch of bonuses. There's options to add on different bonuses. For example, here I have the Raid Lover bonus, which gives me 5,000 more XP per raid, 6 extra candies for catching Pokemon, 3 extra XL candies, 18 raid passes at no extra cost. Obviously, you have to pay for that, so it's not really it is an extra cost, but still, it's kind of funny how they word it. Egg Enthusiast as well, quarter egg hatch distance, 3 times hatch Stardust, 3 times hatch XP, 3 times hatch candy. And yeah, these are just plenty of things. That stuff you have to buy on top of it, but there are bonuses still included. For example, here you do get 9 free raid passes if you just have a regular ticket and you buy the ticket. Now, again, obviously you got to add on to the cost of the ticket, but compared to the cost of the travel, it's nothing. It's like what? It's like I think $100 for like all 3 days of Go Fest plus the add-ons, depending where you are. Compare that to thousands of bucks on travel. Like at that point, you might as well. It depends as well. Like if you're doing a quick trip to New York and you only want to stay a day or two, you don't have to buy all the stuff. Let me actually just turn this down a bit. So yeah, honestly, a lot to consider. Let me zoom this in as well. A lot to consider, but those are really the perks. The perks is you get to experience Pokemon Go at its peak, in my opinion. You have the shiny boost, you have the bonuses. There's literally, like, honestly, I'm trying to think of something else I could ask for from a Go Fest, like that they don't have. Maybe like Pokestops resetting research every hour. I don't even know. More free raid passes? I don't know. Again, like, it's Pokemon Go at its peak. It's the best. Dude, this is way too bright. It's literally the best Pokemon Go. It's just an insane experience. If you guys ever played the global Go Fest back in 2020, 2021, before they kind of nerfed them pretty hard on the shiny rates, it's pretty much that, but in a city, and it's absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, that's not the only perk. It's not like, hey, I'm spending, because like right now, what do we have? Right now we have $2,200 USD to go to a Go Fest. You get to play a game for 3 days at its peak. That's like the trade-off. But I think there's a lot of hidden things people do not understand about Go Fest until you actually go to a Go Fest. And that's just the fun you can have. Not only is it fun to play Pokemon Go, catch shinies, get shundos, trade, all that stuff, but the real world interactions you can have at Go Fest are top tier. I have had some of my best memories, some of my funniest moments, like moments I think back and I literally just laugh at. You guys know those, like it's a moment, like you could think of it. There's moments in my head that I could just think of and I cannot not laugh because it was just, the memory of it was just so good. And that's it. It's the real world interaction. I know this is very corny, cliche Pokemon Go. Oh my God, let's meet you out there. Social interactions is the best part of Pokemon Go. It actually is. It actually is. At the end of the day, a little life thought here. I always think of the movie, what's that movie called? Into the Wild. Now, Into the Wild, spoilers if you haven't seen it. is a movie about a guy who quits his job pretty much. He was working, I forget, like a banker or like a finance guy or something. And he's like, ah, screw this. You know, classic story. I'm gonna go live in the wild. I'm gonna go live, society sucks, screw society. And he goes to the wild, he leaves everything, and he's like, oh, this is amazing. I wonder if I've talked about this before. I feel like I've talked about this before because I use this analogy a lot, but he's like, oh my God, I love this, this is so good. I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about anything, taxes, you know, people on my nerves, people frustrating me. But then, over the years, he kind of gets lonely. He gets more and more lonely, and he gets sad. And that's because he realizes that in life, like, the best moments in life are shared between others. Like, love needs to be shared. Moments need to be shared with other people, and that's what GoFest does. This honestly sounds like an ad for GoFest, but it truly is. Like, cut away all the games, the shinies, all that stuff, and I would still not, you know, regret my moments at GoFest because of just the interactions I've had, not only with you guys, but with my friends and different people I've met and friendships created and all that stuff. Like, overall, that is arguably, in my opinion, one of the best parts of GoFest. I'm a huge fan of that. I think that's like literally so underrated. So I think I can only say it so much. Like, if you've been to a GoFest, you know, but I can only tell you guys so much, hey, you know, you're gonna have a great time if you go to GoFest because you're gonna meet all these people, you know, you're gonna make all these memories and all that stuff. But it's until you experience it, you kind of know exactly like how real that is. And I don't even think it's just for GoFest. I think it's just for life. Like, at the end of the day, you gotta do things. You gotta go out, you gotta experience things, because experiences are kind of like what not only create you and your personality, but also just like, it's just the best part of life, you know? Doing things is the best part of life, you know? That's like experiencing things. What is it, the saying? The journey, it's not about the destination, it's the journey. So cliche, but so true. So cliche, but so true. Because I think the journey is like, once you get to a point, like, for example, let's say you wanted to be a billionaire. Once you get to the billionaire point, like, it's fun for a little bit. Okay, like, this is kind of like, you know, I might be talking out my butt right now. But like, I would think, maybe that's like a crazy example to use, but we're gonna use it anyway. You become a billionaire, it's fun for a little bit, you're like, oh my God, I'm a billionaire. But let's say you just do all the same billionaire stuffs a day, and, you know, or like, let's say you have to still work as a billionaire to keep up being a billionaire. After a while, even just being a billionaire, it's gonna get boring, because humans require change. Change, what's the saying? Change, the only thing constant is change. And it's true. It is true. So that's why you gotta do experiences, that's why you gotta come to places like these. Granted, I know I need to say it, it's not obviously an option for everybody. It is super expensive, and it's sometimes not an option, but I don't think that means you shouldn't do things in life. Like, if you can't afford going to GoFest, by the way, let me make this clear. If you can't afford going to GoFest, this is not worth going to GoFest. Use your money on other stuff you might need. But at the end of the day, I think everyone should always be trying to just, you know, change, do different things, experience the different experiences, because I think that's literally the core of life. Anyway, this is getting like super deep, super quick. I don't know why. Why does this always happen? This is a Pokemon Go video, and it kind of gets super deep. But anyway, perks are now 2,200, let's say, on average. Again, it's gonna depend on how frugal you can be and what you wanna experience, but not only do you get an insane Pokemon Go experience, but you also get a lot of in real life experiences, and like just interactions with people, you know, fun conversations. You just get to, your heart gets full. Your heart gets full, you know. Like, sometimes I've been here and I've just kind of like stopped for a moment and been like, damn, I'm in Japan, I'm playing Pokemon Go, I'm having the time of my life, and I just kind of take it in, because that's kind of like the moments you'll get. Not just Pokemon Go, but just when you travel, or just when you go to a place you haven't been to. It doesn't need to be Japan. It could be the city beside you, but just seeing something new is what our brain needs, in my opinion. I don't know, what do I know? I'm literally a 23-year-old person, but I just like to yap and talk and all that stuff. But nonetheless, I'm gonna catch this Tyrant, and we need to talk about something very important, which is the whole question of this video. Is GoFest actually worth it? Is it worth the money we're spending to get these so-called experience Daxi is telling me you're gonna get? Yeah. I talk a lot, eh? It's a good thing I'm a YouTuber. What even is a YouTuber at the end of the day? Damn, we're getting deep. It's GoFest day and we're getting deep. Can I get a shiny though on this video? That would be pretty sick to actually, let me shiny check some of these. Or Choreo. No, I actually still need this one. My main goals for today are definitely the Farfetch. I'm gonna try to grab that one. Would love to get the Farfetch'd. And also the Xurkitree is one I am missing as well. That would be pretty crazy to get. Okay, anyway, let me go find a new spot. This place is a little bit hectic. It's kind of tingling my brain. We're gonna go sit down in a new spot, and then we're going to discuss whether I think it's worth it or not. Cool. Anyone watching on the camera, by the way, I want to show you guys how insane it is to cross the streets here. It's actually kind of fun, but here, let me show you. Okay, look, so everybody just starts walking like this, and you just kind of got to try your best to just dodge and weave and not get hit. What I've been doing is just kind of following people as I cross. Like use them, like this is my bro, using him as protection. And look, I survived the crossing. Yay! Ugh. I feel like I chose a really loud spot, but this is going to be just part of it all, and we're gonna really experience the Japan noises now. Anyway, guys, is GoFest actually worth it? That's the question on everybody's mind, the question on my mind, and something I've actually been thinking about for the last 3 days, because I have been planning on recording this video, and I was really trying to experience GoFest the last 2 days and be like, is this actually worth it? And I think my answer, and people are gonna hate my answer, is going to be, it depends. It really, really depends at the end of the day. First thing it depends on, your situation, you know. GoFest might be, you know, more worth it for you if you can actually afford to go to it. But if you know, you can do one trip a year or something, or you know, it's a lot for you to be able to come out to one of these, then GoFest probably not as worth it to you. You know, like there's probably much better trips and things you could do with your money. Second thing it depends is, I think, like how much you're into that city. You know, how much do you want to travel to that city? If, you know, you've been like, I wanted to go to Japan for years and that's my bucket list thing, and then a GoFest pops up, like perfect, line them up, do them both. Get compounding value out of your money by hitting a GoFest and also traveling to a city you want to travel to. But if it's like, oh, GoFest is in New York and, you know, I don't really like New York and don't really want to travel to New York, then like, yeah, obviously GoFest is not going to be worth it to you. Third thing is, I think it's a gamble. It's a gamble because I think at the end of the day, I've talked about, you know, the experiences you can have and the fun times you can have, but those things are actually not guarantees. You know, I've had a great time at all the GoFests I've gone to, but there have been some GoFests, well, actually, they've all been pretty great, but there's probably some people who have gone to GoFest and be like, this is absolute trash. This is, look at all the people crossing behind me. This is probably the worst experience I've ever done. And because it is a gamble, like you're going with obviously the guarantee that you're going to have a great Pokemon Go experience playing the game, as long as, you know, Niantic doesn't Niantic and screw everything up. But you're not going with a guarantee that, you know, you're going to meet a bunch of new friends, have a bunch of new experiences, unless obviously you're going with friends, which I fully recommend if you're planning a trip. But if you're going solo, like, you're not guaranteed to have the most crazy experience. But it is a gamble, and obviously you are in control of that as well. Like, if you want to have a crazy experience traveling, you obviously need to be brave to go to talk to people and try to, you know, experience local things. And it is scary to travel. It is scary. Like when I'm going to try to order food in Japan and like they don't know English at all, I'm like, food please, Google Translate. Like it's scary. It's scary, don't get me wrong. But if you know, can do that and get over that fear and force yourself to experience new things, then I think it's always gonna be worth it. But again, it's not guaranteed. I can't be like, I can't sit here and be like, you go to GoFest, you're gonna have a good time. I cannot say that because it's really, really gonna depend. Do you actually want to go to that place? Is it going to be just stressful because you can't afford that place and you'd rather be somewhere else? And then third is like, are you going to put in the effort to have a good time and experience stuff? I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Especially when I'm traveling, I kind of have the mindset of like, hey, I'm here now. I'm not going to be here probably back potentially ever to some places. And like, you know, I'm in Japan. So I just kind of YOLO it. And this is actually a mindset on topic of, we can bring back my therapist. I haven't seen my therapist in a bit since I've been in Japan, but something I think I've kind of just thought of myself, or maybe I saw it online, is like anyone with social anxiety. I feel like I've talked about this before, but I'm just going to repeat it. Anyone with social anxiety, especially when it comes to traveling like this, obviously I don't want to be obnoxious, and you want to be kind, caring, and respectful at all times with everybody, but always think this. These people, this woman right here, I will probably never be this close to her ever again. I will probably never be this close to her ever again. So should I care what she thinks about me? You know, well, obviously I want our interaction to go well, but like, if their interaction goes bad, I'm never gonna see her again. She's never gonna remember me. She shouldn't even look at me. She doesn't even know who I am. So like, that's kind of like a perspective you should kind of think of when you are traveling, or honestly, just when you're in any social situation, is like, are you ever going to see those people again? And even if you are going to see those people again, at the end of the day, like, just be yourself, you know, try new things and experience life to its fullest. Try your best. That's just how I think. And I think it gets me through a lot of, you know, like, for example, right now, obviously, like, I'm in Japan. Actually, an interesting part about Japan is I could literally say anything, and most of these people don't speak English, so, you know, it's not as scary. But, like, if I'm in New York vlogging and I'm walking around with a vlog camera, everyone's like, oh, it's super scary, and what are people going to think of me? At the end of the day, those people are going to see me vlogging. They're going to be like, oh, that guy's weird. Why is he vlogging? And then they're probably going to think about something else and then never think about me ever again. So why should I care what they think? You know what I mean? That's kind of like the perspective I've taken. Actually, a recent perspective I've taken that I think has really helped me, I guess, just kind of get over social anxiety and being scared of, I guess, being yourself or just doing what you got to get done in a social situation. You know, if you go traveling and you got to get food and you're scared to ask the person, you know, or have a weird interaction because, like, you guys don't speak the language and communication is kind of hard, just be like, oh, this guy's never gonna think about me ever again. You know, he's gonna go off, live his own life. And that's actually an interesting part about Japan. I think about it, it's like all these people here, they live their own life, they have their own kind of things going on, but I've never even thought about them and how there's just this whole world on the other side of the planet and how the culture is just so different and just the way they act is so different than ours. Not saying it's bad or good, like, it's literally completely fine. But it's just, I don't know, that was a random thought I had yesterday. Like, I was just thinking, like, oh my God, like, these people live lives on the other side of the planet. Like, humans are real. I don't know what I was talking about. What is going on? Oh, actually, it's unknown hour. If you don't know, in GoFest, which is pretty cool. Actually, I guess another perk is at the top of the hour, every Pokemon spawn becomes an unknown. Or most Pokemon spawns. Obviously, there's still, like, an Emolga here and stuff, but a lot of spawns become unknown, which is really cool. So if you want to try to hunt a shiny unknown, and this is actually a way you can use the shiny glitch, which I've talked about here on the channel before, but it's like the glitch where you can turn one shiny into another. If you get a shiny before unknown hour, and then you can go ahead and, like, switch it into another shiny, which is cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, item bag is full. I should probably delete some stuff. Actually, I should probably, like, put on some lucky eggs and stuff. I'm going to be playing GoFest after this episode anyway. Stay tuned. We got plenty of fun GoFest videos coming out, by the way, which is really exciting. Anyway, I do want to take a look at some responses to our question of the day from the last episode. My question of the day from this episode is, number one, obviously it's on this topic. Would you travel for Pokemon Go? If you were to travel, where would you want to travel to? And what are your thoughts? Do you think Pokemon Go IRL events are worth it if you've gone to them? If you haven't gone to them, I think you're gonna have your perspective, but I kind of have the mentality in life, and obviously I don't always follow it. Sometimes I just spew my opinion about something I don't know because, like, ego or something, but I think it's very important to try new things before you can have, like, an opinion on it. Granted, there are certain things where you can just be like, that's bad. Like shooting someone, I don't think you need to try to shoot someone before you decide that shooting someone is bad. I'm gonna say that again. I am not condoning anyone to shoot anyone. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, have I been peeking this whole time? I hope not. Yeah, like, you gotta try something before you decide whether it's good or bad. And yeah, so, like, if you've been to an IRL GoFest, let me know how your experience was. Was it truly a magical experience? Or did you have a bad experience? Because again, I think that's the thing, is it's gonna depend on the person and where the event is, whether it's worth it to you. But I truly do think that everyone, if you're into Pokemon Go and it's something that interests you, I think it's worth a try. It's worth to go out to it. Because at the end of the day, it's a new experience. And whether you like a new experience or not, life is all about new experiences and trying new things. So I think you should always be trying to try new things, I guess, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do this Necrozma raid here. Yeah, I don't know, that's kind of my thoughts on it. It's actually insane as well. I think this is like a Sendai thing, but there's so many people here that the lobbies, every lobby instantly maxes out. I haven't waited 120 seconds on a lobby all weekend. Like, again, like I said before, these IRL Go Fests are pretty much just like Pokemon Go on crack. Like, it's just like literally the peak of Pokemon Go experience you could get, especially in Japan. But even in New York and in Madrid, it's gonna still be just as insane, just as many spawns, too many spawns to catch, especially now that the AR mode glitch has, or not, it wasn't a glitch, but AR mode has left Pokemon Go. Like, actually catching Pokemon quickly is really, really annoying, or shiny checking Pokemon really quickly. I know Mystic 7's out here doing 100 shinies in a day challenge, and he might struggle. He might struggle because you cannot AR check anymore, which makes it really annoying. Oh, look, there's little kids. Also, actually, something I completely forgot to talk about. Also, another perk of these in-person Go Fest is the park specifically. I'm not at the park today, but there's usually a park where there's like photo opportunities. There's like, I don't know if you guys saw in the vlog, there was like a giant balloon Pikachu. There was a giant like Lapras balloon at spots. Different like hats you can get. Different photo opportunities. Different, there's like lounges and stuff. A trading post where you can go trade with people. Like, it's very well set up for Pokemon Go in itself. And like, it's not just like you're going to a city and you're just gonna play Pokemon Go. You do get a park day where there's a lot of stuff to do in the park, a lot to experience, and I guess memories to be made, photos to be taken so you can remember those memories. And yeah, it actually is well set up over the years. I think I've heard of some horror stories in the past, but Go Fests are kind of now at the point where if you go to one, it's probably gonna be pretty smooth running, and I don't think there will really be issues. Like sometimes there might be. I know, like I think Hoenn Tour had issues because there was just like too many people in the park. But Niantic, I will give credit where credit is due. Niantic have done a good job to kind of like make at least every event I've gone to, which is London, New York, and this one, and then I'm gonna go to 2 more. It's gone smooth. I haven't had any issues. I guess like the New York one didn't really have the best park, but like again, it doesn't ruin. I haven't had an event where I'm like, this is ruined because of this happening. It's all been kind of fine, I guess, if that makes sense. But I guess like there is always like downsides, and like it hasn't gone smoothly. But again, the events haven't been like, oh my God, the internet is down for me and I can't even open the game. I think that happened at LA Sinnoh Tour for a little bit, but like, no, I've been fine playing. Anyway, let me go find a spot to sit, and then I want to talk about one more thing. Okay, guys, and that brings us to our last point here, which first of all, let me bring this a bit closer. I do want to quickly mention, not only can you travel to Go Fest, but I am doing a group trip. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but I really want to say it again because this is an opportunity that I'm super, super excited about. Yeah, we're going to be going to Mexico City for a group trip. Pretty much, the group trip is like where me and you guys all travel to the same location, stay in the same hotel, do a bunch of activities together, hang out together. We're going to play Pokemon Go together. There's a cooking class included. There's a local market tour, visiting pyramids, visiting Frida Kahlo's museum, hunting for halucha, plenty of dinners that we can have together as well. It's going to be from September 28th to October 3rd in Mexico City. You can join it now. It is limited spots, so I do want to link it below. I do want to mention the price. A lot of people, sorry, I was checking this recording. A lot of people have been like, why is it priced so high, $2,300? I understand it's a very high price point item, and it's not for everyone, and I do not want you guys going on this trip if you can't afford it or it's just like too much for you. But personally, first of all, the trip is priced based on all the activities included. The more people we get, the cheaper the trip can get. So it's all the sorry, how do I say this? All the activities included. Obviously, I'm making a profit off of it. I do, this is a business here, so I do have to make a profit. Trova Trip, also the people who are planning it do have a planning fee. So that's pretty much how the trip is priced. It's not priced based on I just threw a number out there. There is everything included, hotels, food, all the activities kind of included in the ticket, and that's kind of like why it is priced how it is. But I truly want to say, I'm not trying, a lot of people have been like, oh, you're just trying to scam. I'm not trying to scam anyone. If you haven't noticed here on the channel, I have not sold to my viewers a single thing in the 4 years I've been making this video, because I truly believe in, trying to provide value to you guys. And I truly believe in, oh my God, look, it's Mystic 7. I truly believe in, dude, why do you always end up finding me?
Hi, Daxie, bye, Daxie, hi, Daxie, bye,
He's grinding. He cut me off. Anyway, I truly believe in experiences and trips like this, and giving you guys something that I think is truly going to be magical for you guys. I've traveled, I've experienced this, so I know what it's like, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring this opportunity to you guys to travel. So again, if you're interested, check it out. If not, all good, 100% all good. I'm not pressuring it, but I just do want to mention it for anyone who might be interested. Hit me with your questions about the trip in the comment section below. And again, if you can't make it, no worries. I will still be going, and we will be catching halucha, and there'll be plenty of videos for you to watch. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of clear the air on that, because a lot of people are like, why is it priced the way it's priced? It's priced the way it's priced because based on how much stuff costs for the trip and profit margins, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Anyway, last thing I want to talk about here in this episode is to obviously take a look back at the last Let's Play episode. We always do this, and check out some of the answers. So again, answer the comment section below. whether you think GoFests are worth it or not, based on if you've gone, and if you do plan on going to a GoFest or want to go to a GoFest, where would that be? And I guess like what would it take? What would it take for you to go out to a GoFest? Again, I'm not out here trying to become a Niantic spokesperson. I'm just talking based on my experience. And I know a lot of people in the comments are always like, oh, sell out, blah, blah, blah. First of all, Niantic cannot pay me. First of all, let me just say this actually. Legally, I would have to tell you guys if this is a sponsored video based on Niantic. Legally, I would have to tell you guys. But also, I know myself, and I would never sell out for a company and I guess sell my word or my opinion. I'm always going to speak my truth. I'm always going to tell you guys how I feel. And if I feel good about the game, I will tell you that. If I feel bad about the game, I will tell you that. But I'm never going to sell out and sell my word. Like that sounds like the cringiest thing to do ever. Be like, oh, I'm just going to become a spokesperson for a company just because I get paid? No. That's the whole point of YouTube. The whole point of YouTube is to have, I guess, creative or freedom of speech, or like being able to just kind of express my feelings and how I feel about things, and I'm never gonna give that away. Anyway, I'm getting sappy. Let's go through the last thing. First of all, we have from Justin. Hey guys, I used to play Pokemon Go for long, but I've been off the grind for a while. I am a free-to-play player, and my last memory was defeating Mega Ray. Ooh, remember not getting enough Mega Energy, so I left the game for a while. What I thought to be 1 week turned into a year now. The game has improved so much, but I just haven't been drawn to it. How have you guys burned out from Pokemon Go, or how did you guys come back? Honestly, actually love this question. I have a couple opinions on this. First of all, I think that naturally, Justin, Pokemon Go is a game that you cannot really just like play forever. Like you can't just grind it. Because again, it's like anything. You're gonna get bored of it at one point. You're gonna be like, I don't really want this. I've done this too much. So I think it's actually completely natural that you've taken a week to a year off. And it might even be another 2 years before you jump back into the game. I think the number one way to not burn out though, if you are playing and you're kind of stressing, is first of all, take breaks. Don't push yourself too much. At the end of the day, it's a game. We want to enjoy it. But also, set goals. Set goals is the number one way to kind of enjoy Pokemon Go when there's not a lot to do in the game. Like set goals like, hey, I'm working on this shiny living dex, or I'm working on completing my Pokedex, or I want to catch a Shundo of this, or I don't know. Like, what is your next goal in Pokemon Go? I always think setting goals is going to keep not only like Pokemon Go, but life interesting. This is like a life thing you can do. Like, what is your goal in life? What are you trying to do in life? So I think that's kind of important to keep. But again, don't pressure yourself to come back to Pokemon Go. If you haven't been drawn, you got to think about it. Like naturally, there's a reason you haven't been drawn to the game. It's maybe because you've moved on from it in life, or you're on to new things, or you're looking for a new hobby or something like that. Just don't force yourself. Don't force yourself. Here we have Voltins, which I think is correcting my quote. I read one day was, a man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary. Oh, actually, I read this comment earlier. Really love that. Really helped me since I tend to overthink and stress about things. Actually, Volton, I'm going to thank you. I read this comment earlier, and I've been kind of thinking of it every time I stress. Yes, you suffer. If you think about it, you suffer. If you are an overthinker or someone who stresses about the future and has anxiety, you are suffering before it actually happens. So you're technically suffering twice if something bad happens. If you stress that, oh, you're going to miss your plane, you're stressing, so you're suffering. And then when you miss the plane, you're sad, so you're suffering again. So you suffer twice. So take life as it comes to you. Don't overthink the future. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, actually. Copley said, never viewed as a negative creator vibe. The community needs it, in my opinion. I wish more Pokemon Go users would speak up for us. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And honestly, I think you need to, about the Pokemon Go YouTubers would speak up for us. I think that's a complicated statement to make because, again, every Pokemon Go YouTuber has different goals and different stuff. Some of them just use Pokemon Go as an outlet. Some of them want to be community leaders. Some of them want to, I guess, like speak up for us. But some of them are just there to make content and have an outlet and create content to enjoy with you guys and don't want to really always have to be doing that. Like I know Nick made a video a while back where he was like, hey, I cannot keep making these videos where anytime Niantic does something wrong, I have to complain because the reason I make YouTube is to use as an outlet to be creative and to entertain my community and to interact with my community. It's not to become a political figure standing for Pokemon Go. And now granted, maybe just because we are YouTubers, naturally we kind of assume that role and that's our job. But at the end of the day, also, like we are who we are and we can't really force ourselves to become things we're not, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm exhausted. Sometimes Niantic is doing all these crazy changes and I'm like, you know, like I can't be bothered. Like I don't have the mental space. I'm going through personal issues. I don't want to become a political figure right now. It's complicated, but I think you just need to remember like us YouTubers are people. Everybody's a person, everybody's always struggling. And sometimes like we do things, we all have different reasons on, I guess, why we do things, you know? That's why I think it's very important to remember. You know, Mystic 7, he's there to make videos, make the best videos, be entertaining. He doesn't, like, if you notice, Mystic 7 doesn't always speak up about different changes and things that are happening, because I think it's not why he's on YouTube. He's on YouTube to make videos, to have a creative outlet, and to entertain. That's like the whole reason, you know what I mean? It's like if you think about an actor, you know, is it Timothée Chalamet's job to talk about a political issue that's going on in life? No, his job is to make videos, or to be in movies, you know? So like, I don't know. Complicated subject. I do like speaking up though. I do like spreading my opinion, but again, sometimes like I'm just emotionally exhausted or super, super tired because I'm a human. I'm a human at the end of the day. Okay, we have Blubble Mew. This video is so sweet. The memories you literally made are heartbreaking. Hope you enjoy your time. Me personally, I started at the start of the year, so I don't really have any memories unlike you. Can't wait to see more in the future. You will create memories. This game, the thing about this game is it creates very, very unique memories. I've never had a crazy memory playing Call of Duty, but Pokemon Go, I've had some insane stories. Brilliant upload. I agree so much with what you are saying in relation. This is from Halkin Days. Raised with Pokemon Go and the communities. I especially like your reference back to what your psychiatrist tells you, and your memory of playing the game made me emotional. Many of us will have stories like that and bond to the game, and it's so fun to relive those. I never really thought of how content creation can be at times quite isolating, and I hope that you know how much we appreciate your insights, tips, strategies, and even goals and all that good stuff. Just want you to know that playing Pokemon Go makes me feel less alone and it's help me overcome social anxiety. I cannot read for some reason. I play it because it makes me feel part of something, and it certainly helps getting exercise and whatnot. Keep being you, Daxi, and hopefully we can meet in the future when you visit New Zealand soon. Actually, yeah, funny, I'm going to New Zealand. It's more of a personal trip, but maybe I'll try to fit in a little New Zealand meetup with some of you guys. That could be pretty cool in Auckland or something like that. Yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate that comment. Really nothing for me to add on to here. I'm just gonna keep being me. You know, I'm gonna keep being me. At the end of the day, I think it's very important. Something I think about in life, I keep coming back to these, I think about in life. The most important thing to life is to know your values, what you believe in, and if that's enough for you, that's enough for you. If I make a video and someone trash talks me and says, oh, this guy's full of, I'm not gonna say the S word because I think I'm a PG creator. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really hurt me as much. Sometimes it hurts me as much, but it doesn't, because I know what my values are, what I believe in. If this guy's like, oh, you're a sellout, I know in my heart I'm not a sellout, and that's never what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make videos, use as an outlet, and entertain you guys. So I think that's very important. Just know your values, know how you believe, and then honestly, no one can trash talk you, and nothing will ever really hurt you because you know who you are. You know, what do you believe in? Do you believe in being kind? Do you believe in being respectful? Do you believe in helping others? All that stuff. If you know that inside, then everything is fine, and nothing can really hurt you. Granted, again, emotions are emotions, and you can't avoid them. Negative emotions will come. But that's like a core of me. I don't know, this is getting very emotional. Okay, one more. Mr. Fantax says, yo, Daxi, hope you see this. I do see this. Your info and content about Strictly the Game is top tier, always a huge help. But this series is the shining example of why you're my favorite YouTuber. Your willingness to talk about what you've been through, cancer treatments or therapy or anxiety or whatever it may be so powerful. Is it powerful? No, I'm just kidding. I think I know what you mean. We've become a super far way as a society in how we view mental health, but there's still a long ways to go, agreed, and it's always going to be an extremely difficult thing for so many people on an individual level to help reach out to someone. And the way you are so open and saying, hey, I deal with this, or my therapist told me this, helps normalize these discussions bit by bit. I truly think there are more people out here being impacted by this in a real positive way. As someone who's been through their mental health struggles in the past, I want to say thanks for help normalizing this and help people, whatever it may be. And I hope you know, this is getting me emotional, and I hope you know that myself and others in your audience care about you as a person too. You got me yapping here. Yo, shout out to my yappers out there. And I don't feel like I've conveyed everything I hope to, but that's the best I can do for now is, hey, keep it up, man. I'll listen to Yap every day of the week. Yo, shout out to Mr. Fantastic. Thank you. Again, at the end of the day, anyone who is struggling with that, it is something completely difficult and something that honestly, like, I never thought I would need therapy, but I think it's just such a great thing for everybody. Again, I think if you have, I guess, like that, it's not really accepted mindset and you're like, oh, maybe I need therapy, maybe I don't. And I'll say, again, this goes back to the thing. I think everybody should try therapy once. It might not be for everyone, but like, I think trying things is very important. And whether you hate it or not, like you can't really have an opinion on it before you try it, really, pretty much. But what I was trying to say, actually, what was I trying to say? Damn, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, sorry. What I was trying to say is think of therapy like training for your brain. You know, you go to the gym, I said this before, but you go to the gym to work on your muscles, you go to therapy to work on your brain. And your brain is just as important as your muscles, your physical and mental health. So again, if you look at it that way, then think of it, you're just going to the gym. It's a very normal thing to do. It's completely normal. At the end of the day, you cannot repress your emotions, you cannot repress your thoughts. My therapist told me that the whole point of therapy really is to learn yourself, and when you have an emotional reaction to something, or this is how you feel about something, you know yourself, you know how to, I guess, handle that, calm yourself down, and I guess accept that and move on. It's pretty much like, that is like the end all, that is the masterwork research of therapy, is that, hey, you're feeling, you know, let's say one day you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm sad. And then you're like, okay, well, I know how to handle this, I know how to process this, I know how to, I guess, accept this, and then I know how to move on and continue to live my life. That's pretty much it. You become an emotional master, bro. Emotional master ball is pretty much what you become. I mean, I think everybody needs to do that, because if you can't handle your emotions, like, it just makes life hard. And again, emotions are completely natural. You know, you can't avoid it. Think of it that way. Like, if you get sad, you can't just be like, oh, I'm not sad. It's a literal fact that you're sad, you know? I don't know, I'm just yapping on. Anyway, guys, we are in Japan, Sendai. I'm gonna go play GoFest. I'm gonna go enjoy the day. Stay tuned for plenty of fun videos. And again, YAP Session World Tour Series is a go. We got 3 more of these.